This is Michelle Archer. Welcome to Business Bootcamp. We are going to dive right on in because we have got so much to cover in this series. So y'all probably already know who I am, but there I am. There's me. So I really want to start off by talking about the 5 biggest mistakes I see people make. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. We always drill down into the metrics to see what's working and what's not working, and where we're missing the cutoff man, so to speak. And so here's what I find over and over and over again. They're not treating it like a business. They're treating it like a hobby, right? They're doing what's fun. They're doing the fun stuff. They're hiding out in the busy work. They're redecorating their office 14 times and making new business cards and all that, really not managing the inventory. We joke and call it the eyeball method. You look and you go, yep, I still got inventory, right? If you're running a business where you don't manage inventory, you'll have a couple of potty breaks because we're going to talk about inventory a little bit. Really failing to budget. We don't budget. We go, oh, there's $300 in my, candle account. Oh, yay. I'm going to go buy $300 worth of candles, right? And we're not budgeting. And then what happens is conference rolls around, and guess what? We don't have any money to go to conference, or your people more than likely, because I know I'm speaking to leaders tonight. Your people don't have money to go to conference. Why? Because they didn't budget, and they spent their conference money at the pizza place, in the gas tank, at Chick-fil-A or whatever, right? Because they weren't on a budget. They weren't setting money aside, planning for that. So failing to budget, failing to really keep good records. I work with people over and over and over, and we start talking about client follow-up, and they say, I'd love to follow up, but I don't have phone numbers for anybody. Right? Wow, you don't have phone numbers for any of your clients. That is really fascinating. And so to me, it's so second nature to gather complete contact information. And when you're processing a credit card, you're required to have a billing address on file when you process that credit card. You could get in trouble for that, right? But I guess new kids, these kids these days, they don't know that. And they're just getting a phone number and a billing zip, and they're done, and they're not gathering all that information. How can you follow up and ensure that your customers are happy with what they have if you can't reach out to them? So anyway, it's just inexperience. So most of you probably know that part. I just started at A and we're working through Z on this one, and really not understanding, taking time to understand the metrics that are involved in the business. So we're going to break each one of these down, go through them, spend 10 minutes or so on each of those. If you can do the math, that's a full 50 minutes. So write fast. I'll talk faster. Let's start out with treating it like a business, really treating it like a business. So imperative that you and every consultant on your team goes and opens their own bank account. It doesn't have to be a business account. You can open a personal account, somewhere to keep it separate. There's a million different reasons for this. I'll give you my top few, and our leaders on board tonight could probably share a few others. One is that they do not need to be mixing household money. It just is bad for business. It's basically embezzling, right? You just cannot do it that way. The other thing is, particularly if you're married or sharing a checking account with someone, men in particular see every nickel we spend, but they seem to have a blind eye when it comes to what we might be putting in the account. So in your mind, you're depositing $1,000 worth of checks, you are ordering $700 worth of inventory, a little bit here, more in there, but in your mind, there's still $250, let's say, in the account that came from you. Guess what he sees? All the expenses that go out. So now his attitude towards your business is, she's always spending money on this, right? Because he sees what goes out, but he doesn't see what comes in. So you need to have a separate checking account forever. And to this day, I write myself a check into our joint account. Back when I was running a field business, I would write a check to my husband and make him deposit it. So I knew he saw what was going in because I made him put it in. These days I do direct deposit or transfer out of PayPal or whatever. So he sees what goes in our account. There's no question. And I run all of my expenses out of a separate account, religiously run that out of a separate account. Another great reason is, when it comes time for taxes, you don't have to print out tax record or banking records for 12 months on 3 different accounts, right? Because you've got it all in the same place. really, really drive that home to your people. Go and open a checking account. You need $5 to do it, right? It's one of the first things you do. It's one of the things I put in a quick start when you're getting set up for business. So make sure that your people hear you say that. Designate a workspace. They have to have something. There's great closet makeovers on Pinterest. You can lose your mind there where you can turn a closet into a great office. My first office was the walk-in closet at the end of our hallway upstairs. I shared it with a Christmas tree. It was quite deluxe and glorious. But it was a place where I had everything, and that's what matters. And there was a door, and I could shut it, and that was great. But there was a workspace. I had a place to go be at work. You can't work, they can't work on the living room sofa. Interestingly enough, my husband's office was being renovated this week, and so they were working from home. And I sit in my office mostly during the day, sometimes out in the back deck. But anyway, I don't sit in the living room with a TV. So he's in there with the TV on in the living room, and it made the comment to me, I just feel like I can't get anything done here. I can't focus. I can't think, right? Well, because you're sitting in the living room with the TV on, and the kids are coming and going, and you've got to go find that space where you can get focused on the work at hand, which is running the business. So good news is he gets to go back to work tomorrow because he was losing his mind. Set up a voicemail. There's so many fun things that you can do on your phone. I get you can put great songs on there and cute little things and whatever. Understand that that's part of your business brand. Is what's currently on your ringtone, on your voicemail, is that what you want your clients to think of you? And I have a great sense of humor, you all. I have to really, really tone it down because I work in the public realm. You work in the public realm as well. And take a look at that. Create a professional email. We get some doozies through DSI, crazy stuff, really crazy stuff. And then also like Mikey's mom, 6243 at yahoo.com. I don't want to buy something from Mikey's mom, right? I want to buy something from you. I want to buy something from a professional. The other thing, as far as a professional email, it's a big trend right now to think of really cute things. Here's the problem with that. I don't know who that is when it comes to my inbox. I have no frame of reference. When it says Michelle.Archer at, y'all know exactly who's emailing you, right? Really, really important. You get a higher engagement rate when they know who you are. When they don't know who you are, it may end up in spam. So before you do something too cutesy, just think about keeping it really simple. First name dot last name. Gmail is my favorite. It's where all the cool kids hang out. Incidentally, Hotmail, not so cool. I would rethink if I'm currently using a Hotmail account. Anyway, Gmail's got a lot of great features. We're going to talk about some of the Gmail features, as a matter of fact, as we go through this. So professional email and professional voicemail. And finally, set work hours. And I don't mean regimented and post it, right? Put it on your front door or anything, but establish to yourself that these are my work hours. And this is when I'm off. I know that normally pickup is at 3:45. So I know from really about 3 o'clock to about 4:30, I'm kind of off the clock. I can't really take appointments or anything because I know I'm going to be running school pickup and sometimes they're late and then I got to hear about her day. And, I know I've got to block that time out. I typically don't start taking calls till 9 a.m. because I need to get up and get my head screwed on straight, go through my email, check social media and all of that. And so those are my internal work hours. I don't answer my phone after 8 p.m. So don't call me, right? I don't have to say it. I can just not answer my phone after 8 p.m. and word gets around on the street, right? And as leaders, it's so important twofold that you set work hours so that you are working on your business, but that you also know when to unplug from your business, because when we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, our family and our husbands begin to resent our business. Because that's what we're always doing, right? We never spend any time with them. So setting those work hours, really, really important, and sticking to it and setting the boundaries. When we have a team, a growing team, and I'll tell you, I do a lot of corporate work and I have young sales forces in the field. They blow me up. I walk your walk. I know exactly what it's like. I have to turn the computer off. I don't push notifications to my phone. I don't push email to my phone. When I'm off, I'm off. When I shut it down at 8 o'clock, I'm done for the day at that point, and I will pick anything up that I can, fix it in the morning, right? And that's tough to do, but you really have to, or you'll become very exhausted and burned out. as well. So these planning pages will be in your classroom for you for the next 90 days that you can use. This is part of the Quartet Planner. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about Quartet at the end, but I wanted to give you a couple of weeks of that to use. This is a system that I developed. I taught it in the field for 10 years. It works very, very well because you've got all the buckets that you need for your follow-up, which is part of the Quartet, your follow-up calls, and your to-do list down there, all of those things. That which gets scheduled gets done. End of story. If you don't write it down, it doesn't get done. People will say to me, well, call me when you have a free minute. And I just chuckle and I will message them back and say, if you want to talk to me, we need to schedule it. I don't have free minutes in my day, right? It's very, very scheduled. And there's a million things that I need to be doing. And so, it either goes on the calendar or we probably don't connect. So paper calendar, this is the one from DSI that we're going to give you. It'll be in your classroom. You can also do a virtual calendar. Gmail is one of my favorites. If you're not running an inventory-based business, you can probably run your business off of Google. What I love about it is the integrated calendar, the email, and the contacts. It's all there together. It's cloud-based. You can pick it up from anywhere, grab it from your phone, grab it from your desktop. You can create recurring appointments. You can color code appointments. So it's a really Google is a very robust platform. A lot of great things about Google Plus. We don't have time to get into social media, so I'm going to stay the course here. So now let's talk about managing your inventory. So that was really treating